What's going on, ladies and gents? I know you're a little jarred to hear my voice on Into Somewhere Sports, but that's because we've got the shakeup and the breakup of the makeup. I've been invited on Into Somewhere Sports, but I'm bringing UCR with me. That's right, the unapologetic and completely random podcast is joining Into Somewhere Sports. So therefore, do I introduce them? Do you introduce? Regardless, it's Isaiah and Cody, O8316. Happy to have you both here with me or me with. We'll figure that out. Regardless, happy to be here.
I wasn't sure who was doing the intro here because this is kind of my show, but you took your show. I wasn't sure who was introduction.
All right.
Are you trying to steal my show?
Hold on. You ready? I will. Let's start it over. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go, Cody.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to episode 6 of Into Somewhere Sports, and I'm here with Isaiah and somehow Jake DeMarco. I thought I locked him out.
Yeah.
How did you get out of that?
I found a paperclip, and I know a thing or two about bending.
I thought that was when we were in the basement that one time.
Zay, how you doing? Glad to have you here.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
I'm a little bit taken aback by just what went down last night.
You can't. No. You can't just pivot and all this. Are you trying to steal my show from me?
Steal? No. I'm bringing UCR to you. I'm invading Into Somewhere
Then why do
Sports.
I have this letter right here? I'm stealing your show from you.
Of course I wouldn't. I mean, I might have already paid Zay to join me instead of you, but listen, it's fine. It's fine. I could just bribe him with, a couple of bowls. He's ready to go.
Wait, you pay him? I had him pay me.
Oh, well, and then you pay me. So it's just going in a circle. And we're getting taxed every time. Son of a bitch. I knew I should have started that.
You love taxes, huh?
I should have started that crypto coin. Into Somewhere Funny Bucks is going to be a real thing. Just you wait. How did you feel about the State of the Union last night on this UCR episode? Ooh.
I thought, personally, like both sides did end up looking bad. Trump did tell quite a few lies, per usual, but Democrats look bad. And some main key aspects of that woman that got stabbed, her mom was there, and Trump asked for everyone to clap for her daughter to pay honor and respect to her life, and only Republicans got up and Democrats remained seated during that. And then Trump said to them, "How dare you guys not clap for that? How dare you?" Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty ridiculous and sad. It is sad. Ilhan Omar, she had the guest of Aliyah Rahman. She was dragged out of her car in January by the ICE agent. She's got a disability. They kept telling her to move. She's like, I physically can't. I'm not resisting. She was just trying to drive through, and she wasn't, protesting, blocking. They drag her from her car. She gets detained. This whole thing goes down, and she's a U.S. citizen in Minneapolis. So as much as I personally, it's not that, I side with ICE, but I see that they're a necessary evil because we do need them to get actual illegals out of the country. But what they're doing is picking up people that are not violent, not threats, not issues, people that are respected and liked in the community, people that are fathers and mothers and sisters and brothers, and they're vanishing in seconds with no court case, no trial, and they're being sent to prison. And when they arrive to these countries, it's not like they're going home. They're being sent to detention centers where they'll never see the light of day, most of them. So she's lucky she even got back, out of all of this. She was just trying to go to a doctor. She refused to sit, and they took that as an act of protest and arrested her on site, and she was removed from the address last night. So not the best State of the Union for either side. Both sides look very lacking in compassion.
Yep. It's because it's not their narrative, so who gives a shit? This just proves that neither side cares about anybody. It's just if it doesn't fit their narrative, they're not going to give a shit about you. Democrats, for example, I hate to sound like big right-leaning guy here, but again, Trump asked if you stand by prioritizing the U.S. citizens first instead of illegal aliens or illegal immigrants, please stand up. And only Republicans stand up and Democrats and then stand up that. So they don't prioritize the American people first. They prioritize other things first, obviously, right? Is that the agenda they're going with?
It really does. It feels that way. And
the unfortunate thing is that both parties do not favor us first. And that's the problem. We need a president to step up and favor the American people, all of them, not just the top 10% like the big.
I say abolish both parties, because then you have to actually be a free thinker.
Yeah,
the issue with the two-party system is
we need more parties. If that's realistically, because dividing everybody into two, that's where you get all. I mean, you can't have 100 parties either. So there's no one party. Then how do you take sides?
Parties and be politicians, because this is why you can't take sides anymore. You actually have to be a free thinker. And what does your value stand for? Because at the end of the day, here, people that are going to vote is going to be like, oh, a Democrat said that. Yep. I'm going to agree with everything they said. Oh, a Republican said that. Yep. Trump 2028. Yeah, MAGA all the way. Like, you know how they do it.
It's both sides, because
they're all brainwashed. They're all in cults. They don't give a shit about anything besides what their party label says. And that's the only thing. I've never heard of it, because you have 100 senators. You got like 50 Republicans and 50 Democrats that share only two opinions. Republicans just agree with everything each other say. Democrats just agree with everything each other say. They always disagree with what the other side says, and they can never come to a middle ground on anything. That's just cult-like behavior, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So I think they need to abolish the two parties.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing too. As you said, looking at both sides, I know, Zay, you pointed this out before, but if you're on CNN right now, it says Democrats say Trump is out of touch after his address. If you're on Fox News, it's the most amazing State of the Union ever. You know, so like you said, you can't pick a side when everybody's so biased. Regardless, they can't admit the truth because they have to stick to the narrative that supports the story that they're going by. It was either
the worst State of the Union ever or the best State of the Union ever. And Trump did lie quite a few times. But one thing is, I hate. He bragged about taking 2.5 million people off of food stamps. Come on, you're bragging about that?
I know, and you're saying that people don't deserve help. And I mean, I'm disabled. I use EBT food stamps. You know, I have the need for it, and it's you know, every funded program is cut back drastically, where it's been really tough to make it. And you had, you know, Representative Kat Cammack from Florida. She even sat on the other side. She sat on the left side rather than with her, you know, Republican side. She said, I'm sitting among my Democratic colleagues as they choose to sit and protest. I will make a point to applaud and cheer for America's successes. America has never been stronger. So she's standing over there trying to say, like, we can do this together, we can unite. And even that gets her a bunch of hate. Someone just trying to be like, let's get along. The Democratic response to most of this is Trump is taking a victory lap. And they're saying that the speech showed Trump is out of touch with average Americans. And basically, you had Abigail Spanberger criticize the president over affordability concerns, his immigration crackdown, offering a preview of the party's message ahead of November's midterms. And then everything with Iran, talking about how, oh, they almost had nuclear weapons, but, you know, they do have missiles that can affect us. And it's again, a witch hunt. And you're basically going off of what George Bush did. I swear they have weapons of mass destruction. They're somewhere. You know, you got a lampshade over a nuke.
So you were going to start a war and make an excuse for it, you know.
But how many times have we done this in the past?
They always like to start wars with Iran, and that of all countries. Iran isn't a good country in their own right. Obviously, if we go to war with them, go USA. Hopefully we wouldn't. And that being said, Iran is a terrible country in their own right. But why start unnecessary wars? Because that's just going to increase everything. That's going to increase your general products that you need on a daily basis in life, that being groceries, gas, all of that.
Right, 100% right. Why go to war for no fucking reason?
Because the reason is it's gonna line their pockets. It's going to keep them basically going forward, you know, in money, in power, in a place of strength. And
you know why?
You know, why is that?
We're going to war to get our gas prices down to the 1.75 national, like Trump said yesterday, when the national average is actually 2.95. That you can't lie that bad and not think that somebody's going to fact check you 100% wrong.
No, absolutely.
That's why we're going to war, because he wants to make those gas prices to the lies he's saying.
Yeah.
Yes, there's places like in Texas at 170, but does that coincide with his quote unquote national average gas prices? No.
No.
That's one place. Not
and gas
everywhere.
is just one thing to look at. Look at the price of eggs. Look at inflation all around. Look at, how much milk cost, how much, people trying to just have bread and pasta. You can't even get some of that government cheese.
So he said that he had made more jobs ever than any president ever. He's only made 200,000 jobs this year. And Biden last year, 1 year, made 2.8 million jobs for Americans.
I disagree with that one. Again, not sounding like because a lot of those jobs still went away during COVID, and those were still being brought back over time. So Biden just brought back jobs that were eliminated during the pandemic. That is fact.
But 2.8 million and 200,000 is a big difference. I don't
he
think
didn't
that.
But Trump was also in office when that started with the Biden inherited it, but Trump was in office when
Biden
COVID
inherited
began.
one of the worst states or countries ever been in. And yes, he didn't do shit because he wasn't really our president. But whoever was puppeteering him or whatever was doing a good job. Our country was pretty good.
Yeah, things were working, and the sad part is that people are still
and our
hurting.
union was strong.
Oh yeah, and he's claiming about tariffs and how that's helping so much while we're the ones paying for it. You see the price of all goods go up. He talks about Iran, but 20,000 protesters have already been killed during a crackdown in Iran. He's like, oh, they already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and could soon reach the U.S. So we're pursuing their sinister nuclear ambitions, and no one should be fooled by these blatant falsehoods they're trying to say. But I don't know. I mean, and then some Democrats, I guess about a dozen of them, they skipped Trump's speech entirely and went to attend a handful of rallies in Washington to show their opposition to the president and his agenda. I think that is the dumbest thing ever.
You can support them for that. No, they are. Why not? Why not stand for what you actually know? Honestly, I'm going to agree with you here because
you've been elected into a position, Isaiah. We elected you into this position, so you're representing the people. And guess what? You're not. You want the president to not. You could disagree with him.
You're not going to always like who the president is at the time.
Exactly. You could disagree with his message, his points, but wanting him to fail is like wanting your plane to crash because you hate the pilot. You're taking everybody down with you.
Country to unite.
Exactly. We're
unite. If we need to unite, we need Trump to stop saying stuff like the crazy leftists, the radical leftists, the lunatics on the left side, the dumb Democrats. He needs to bring us together.
That could counter arguments that you can't. The left can't be out there always calling him a Hitler.
Yeah, we can. We can.
You just made a great point that think about it. Back when we were younger and kids and stuff. Yes, I know. We were saying other types of slurs and stuff that are not welcome today. But you look at it, no one was called a Nazi. I mean, Nazis were horrific soldiers that committed some of the worst atrocities in mankind's history.
How bad we have gotten to be getting called Nazis.
I mean, they're calling everybody Nazi. They're calling everybody,
ICE agents are getting called Nazi soldiers.
That's an issue, though. So, but they call Trump all those things, and that's allowed. Yes, that's okay. But once Trump starts the insults too, then it's so unprofessional.
It is very unprofessional thing because presidents are not supposed to insult the other side. Did you ever see Barack Obama do that? No, he always.
No government official is. No, Trump is very unprofessional, and I think he isn't good for the United States either. And I think he's a piece of shit.
Remember that AI?
Anyone that you elect into those big offices, that was disgusting. That was.
He knew what was being put out. He put them out as guerrillas. That was intentional. I've always said that Trump. Maybe he's not like the super racist, but he's definitely got some opinions that are not so.
I don't think he's a super racist.
I don't think so either. But I think he's definitely got some not great.
Guy.
I think he's got some what would you call it? Some bigoted thoughts or.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You could even label it like
we knew that Jeffrey Epstein did.
But would you argue Harris is also like that too towards white people because Harris?
Oh yeah, you get I call it reverse racism. I mean, it's just racism. And one of the things I've always hated is anybody of another race, they're saying, oh, you can't be racist towards white people. It's like, what?
Yes, you can.
How does that work? You know what I mean? Like, how does that make sense? And that's a huge
is,
problem as well.
No
that
one is
thought
really
process.
ever racist to us. I've never felt
yes,
racist.
it's probably more than ever before because
absolutely.
you go online now. Like, no offense, like this is what happens. You go online and black people saying "fuck white people," this, "fuck white people." I can't ever be friends with white people. I hate white people, and people will be like, "Yeah." Then if you dare respond to them as a joke, saying, "Okay, then I hate you because you're black, just because you hate me because I'm white," then they'll go berate the white person that responded. Like, it's how it is. And there was like a town that banned white people from their restaurant.
Yeah,
and like there was like a
reason to hate us.
There's a convention that went around, like a Democratic convention that went around saying no whites allowed. What's that shit?
I mean, I used to live very briefly. I stayed with my kind of like father figure, Michael, and he had to move to Pennsylvania. He helped when Bell Atlantic became Verizon Wireless. They were protesting, so we had to go to headquarters and stay out there and protest. So I would be in the middle of, Philly, down city, with him overnight, and we'd see all the prostitutes and stuff. But he was living in a purely black neighborhood at that point in time, and I would get bullied like you would not believe. Like if I was walking on the street and I didn't cross to the other side, instead of like going around somebody, I was getting beat. And I think it's real. It exists.
It's shifted.
Absolutely.
I think nowadays, you can disagree. It's just from what I've seen. I think there's still the white racist people out there, but I think nowadays there's more black people that are racist.
I think it's a even mix. I think there's just a lot of hate.
But I think it gets publicized more when the white person.
Yeah.
I saw a video, and who I really think have been racist as of late because they have so much privilege nowadays. At least in America, the Jewish people in America.
I mean,
they have so much privilege. They're able to have 7 kids and have the government pay for the kids.
Really? That's a crazy stat, and
that's crazy.
If you have facts,
I don't agree with things like white privilege.
Cities in New Jersey.
I think
they're straight Amish. It's straight Amish cities.
Yes.
Like, it's so many people, and they're multiplying so fast because in the Torah, right? I think that's what they follow. It says to multiply by many. So they're literally multiplying by many and going to have a whole mini Jerusalem in New Jersey here.
Yeah.
Soon.
Well, I mean, even on that note, it's all a strange thing. But here's the thing:
and they hate whenever we are in their town for some reason. Like, I saw this video, and they hated on the guy so bad for city.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, and it's very sad. You even look at like the State of the Union thing. Such a simple thing of they had the men's USA hockey team that just won the gold come out and celebrate, and that was a great moment, right? But the female team refused to go. They went elsewhere to do other things. They were invited as well because Trump said, well, I guess I have to invite the women too. Literally, that's what he said. Like, so they refused to go because he gave them a half-assed, half-hearted invitation. I don't blame them for feeling slighted and being upset. He literally said, I guess I'll have to invite the women too. The women won the gold medal and did better than the men.
The men's hockey team does not represent America in a very good way.
No.
The way they go out partying in Miami as crazy as they did, or the jokes they made about the female team or their other Olympic athletes.
Yeah, that stuff was bad.
Yeah, they don't represent us well. And you nailed that feeling. And that's the problem. Is
why does nobody represent us good American people?
Exactly. And it's the willingness to hate, the willingness to, continue that type of message. That's the problem. And there was so many lies last night. Would you say one every minute or minute and a half? It was an hour and 40. Yeah. It was an hour and 47-minute speech. The longest ever. The second longest was Bill Clinton at an hour 27, and then he had like an hour 17 before that. Then it was Trump, Bill Clinton, Trump, and then Bill Clinton. So they all like to hear the sound of their own voices.
Privilege and stuff. Do you think white privilege exists?
Yes.
I think it did. I don't think it does anymore. I think it absolutely did. We saw examples of it throughout history. I mean, that's why we had segregation and
it's advantages that come from wealth rather than race.
Do we have cops constantly harassing us?
Yeah, that does happen, but they won't politicize it unless it's happened.
I mean,
to a black
yes,
person.
there are cops that go after white people too, but black people typically have been ostracized and unfairly arrested or detained or put in a situation which they had to comply.
Sad to see that stuff.
Yeah, but there's also a bunch of really good cops out there. You have people being police haters, but it's not fair because a few bad apples shouldn't ruin the bunch. Same thing with the men's hockey team.
Did you guys ever watch the U.S. men's soldier get absolutely abused by like 2 cops because he was black?
I don't think that's privilege. I think that's just racism. Like, I don't think that's privilege. Like, privilege is like you can get away with it and all due to your wealth. And I think it's it's millionaire and billionaire privilege.
Privilege is getting into the better school. Privilege is getting the better job. Privilege is, and
I think you're 100% correct on that, Coach.
Outside of DEI, I feel like that doesn't really exist anymore. And even the DEI stuff kind of faded off pretty quick.
Privilege, if you want to argue it, than white privilege, because like there's things now in policy. Yes, there is. There's things now.
There's facts to back it up. Yeah, because of the
like they will do
affirmative
DEIs
action.
Like we can't
DEI,
always hire. Yeah, there's college and colleges will specifically try to get black students enrolled. You don't really get that for
it's the same
white
thing
people.
As Jewish people and other minorities have had bad pasts because we gave them such shit times back in the day. Now they have to be treated as a like
they are like there's nothing that we can't do that a black person can't do.
It's our fault. It's not our fault.
It's not
our ancestors' fault.
You can't just give them like they can't just play victim for because most of them alive right now didn't have to go through that. They go through the same circumstances we have to go because a black person is going to go through the same struggles as a poor white person. Like, honest, like I'm broke as shit. Like, and so I don't have any privileges handed my way.
No, but like you said, there's a lot of broken systems. You know, people get out of jail, they give them gift cards and shit like that to try and rehabilitate themselves, and they trade it for drugs, of course. 91% in 1970 of all college students were white in 1970. Now, it went initially up to 7%. Then they dropped affirmative action in 2006, and it dropped all the way to 4%. Then after that, MIT, the class of 2028 is 17% black, Hispanic, and indigenous, down from 14%, or up from 14% the year prior. Asian Americans rose to 47%. So basically, you know, they're saying for every college right now, it's about 18% black, 63% white. So there's still a drastic difference, but there is affirmative action involved in taking away positions.
There's more white people in this country than black people. That's just gonna
that's used the rating too. But if you look at the actual like details of it,
Can
certainly.
At least say straight white men have a.
I don't think they have I think they had a privilege.
I think they do.
I don't think it exists anymore.
They still make more money than females to this.
There is a wage gap, but I don't think that's a white thing. I think that's more in line with basically what's going on and how they handle it. So
I think it's just like if you were rich, you're gonna stay rich, and your family will
because that's less privilege, more sexism and gender inequality than anything else. So I don't know.
I stand in rights, humanity. I love that. I love when people can just be
absolutely.
We are all equal. We all bleed red. We all shit brown. Well, sometimes, and we all come white.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it depends.
Depends on the meds.
But y'all know what I mean. We are all the
same.
But
I think it's turning into a situation where they want some sort of like revenge or something. Like that's what it's turning into. Like you treated us. I think they play victim too much instead of like go out there and shoot your shot in this world, and because you have all the opportunities that we do, you have all the accesses we do.
I do believe that statement, and the thing is now as well, there is a lot. It'll always be on both sides. It will, but there's a lot of hate. And I see it more with the left. And there's, again, information to back this up. I don't know when I think it started during COVID times.
I think people are more racist. Let me bring up one thing before you get to your point, because while we're on this racist thing, like for voter ID, they want to pass something for voter ID, then the left will say that's racist towards black people because they can't afford it. That's what Democrats say. Yeah. So why are you just saying why are you just assuming because they're black they can't afford it? You're just insinuating they're poor because they're black. That's what the left does. They always make it other races and ethnicities that aren't white. They always make them look like they're dumb. You have to vote for us because they don't like you. Like polite to them like they're all dumb.
I'm so glad you pointed that out, because that type of
when,
racism is crazy, but it happens often.
Yep.
It sounds like a lot when Charlie Kirk said, "Ooh boy, I get nervous when I see a black person
as a pilot."
That was
as a pilot, yeah.
It wasn't
not out of
him
context.
being racist.
That was out of context because he was still talking about a specific plane company that said they were going to focus on just hiring
DEI
black
hires.
pilots.
Yes. So again, DEI and affirmative action and those things are taking jobs.
There's more context to that than just saying I don't want someone black flying my plane. Racist. No, because there should never be DEI for that. You should just hire the best pilot no matter what. Why do DEI is for pilots? One of the most dangerous, fucking scariest things in the world. You're controlling everyone's lives on the line there. You don't do
plus if you crash,
DEI for that. It's just whoever's the best at that job. Don't do. We have to hire different races for it. Like, so he does have a point. It's not racist. Like how he said it, he probably worded it wrong, but there's more context.
People took it as him hating black people when he was just trying to point out that the best person is not being picked from the job because of the color of their skin or their race, and that was the issue.
He should have said that.
He should have said it like that, but instead he knows he needed clicks and views. Well.
You could tell he was racist by the way. By the way
his Turning Point donated a bunch of black neighborhoods all the time to help them out. Like so that is a fact, but I think people like to twist his words because they don't like when he's against DEI, it's automatically what's he gonna say that will just jab him with, oh, you're racist. I think like you shouldn't have DEI for like, I guess you could call it good in some cases, like, but it's true. Like, why, Jake? What would you say though? Would you want to fly on airlines that do DEI hires?
No, certainly not, because you want to be safe and you want the best person. Yeah, if they're qualified, absolutely not. But if they're picked just because and other people were better for the job, and that does happen. That happens everywhere, and that's a huge risk and a major problem.
With DEI though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. DEI leads to they've proven it. You know, it leads to security faults and problems and a whole list of shit that you don't even realize.
And like when you try to argue that it's like, oh, you don't want a minority to get that job, do you? No, it's not that. It's just why are they getting it specifically because of that? Because if an airline said, hey, all white folks step in line, you're the next contestant on Who Wants to Be a Pilot, and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, these white people are getting everything. What are we going to do? Then when it happens to black people, yay, I'm happy they're getting jobs. I'm not even trying to sound racist here, but this is how reality is right now.
It is because they don't get jobs as easy as we do, and it's honest.
They do.
They don't though. If you go to like employers, right, they're more likely to hire the white guy over the black guy with his pants half down. You know what I mean?
I think
in what cases though? Because like basketball, where that's probably the most paid. No. Why are we talking about that? Because they're in sports, football and NBA. Like black people get the jobs more and get paid more. So you can argue that. You can argue that they get more wealth.
Here we go. You ready? Data shows that white individuals are absolutely hired more often and experience better employment outcomes than black individuals. As of 2021, when they did the last full survey, black men experienced a higher jobless rate at 8.9% compared to white men at 4.6%. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics says that historically, black individuals are twice as likely to not receive employment and be unemployed compared to white individuals in 2021. It used to be 4 times as much in years prior. Black applicants might have to search twice as long as an equally qualified white applicant. And it says here 97 companies found that they were contacted and studied, and they found that all of those employers contacted white applicants 3 times as much more frequently than black applicants, even when they had equal or over qualifications.
It's just like with men and women. Like Danny, she had the hardest time. She was going after every job. And I literally do the first job, hired right.
I think a lot of people have
men and white men do have it easier. I mean, that's a fact, but it doesn't mean that it's not the other way at times. But here's my thing. It started to happen during COVID, and I don't know when the trigger clicked or when it switched, but people suddenly became okay with expressing violence. It wasn't really like that beforehand. And now you see threats all the time. Obviously, I don't need to give you a bunch of examples because of YouTube, but you get the point. I know this episode's already tanked the hell. I hope you guys enjoy it. Hit the like button and enjoy the crossover. But we're here to debate, goddammit, and you can barely say things. And that's because of people being so sensitive nowadays. And they're sensitive, but yet they're okay with violence. When? Enlighten me.
Remember, you said the last study was 2021?
Yes.
I bet increased violence was because of January 6th.
That definitely, I'm sure, plays a part in it. As
why
much.
did the president
What was worse, the protest for George Floyd or the insurrection? Because the insurrection, when they went inside, they really didn't. Most of it was like they walked single file through like those.
Fuck hearted these guys that were basically damn near killing cops.
Yeah. The pardon thing never made
It's
sense to me and bothered me, but
like I hate both of them because I hate violence no matter what. I think everyone that stormed the Capitol on January 6th should have been arrested, but at the same time, the left defends the George Floyd protests and stuff like that. And then they were looting stores, they were burning buildings, they were burning cars, they attacked officers.
Yeah, that whole thing was just as bad as January 6th was for the BLM riots and all of that. Like both sides destroying shit and hurting their own country makes no sense.
Did the president of the USA, were they the person that like operated this attack? Like
no, but Democrat politicians were promoting it, saying keep going and fighting.
They were promoting the peaceful ones, not the riots. They were
no, because they didn't.
No, they did kind of lay that out too. They were assholes, all around. It wasn't a good look for anybody. So
shows both sides.
Both sides were, yeah, but the right side is more defensive. Don't fuck with me. If you come into my house, come into my yard, come into my land. As where the left is more like I'm coming for you, if that makes sense.
Can
like
you look at that study?
Revenge.
What side tends to be more violent?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can search that up. It's going to be very, very.
It's going to be skewed. I know that. Yeah, and so, but I don't know what brought about the change that made people feel so comfortable, so very comfortable with being
like Charlie Kirk,
violent, rude, and goes blatantly racist.
Goes to debate college kids and he gets shot in the neck.
Oh, I know.
Because I don't like, and everyone celebrated it because I don't like his views.
Yeah, because what exactly? Because fucking what? And that's what kills me.
Because of his beliefs.
Yeah. His beliefs that he had.
No real Democrats celebrate his death.
But a lot of people did. And when Trump brought up his name,
real Democrats.
Invoked his name and said, oh, well, Charlie Kirk, and he mentioned it, people went nuts and didn't. And Erica Kirk was there, and half of them couldn't even give her a quick round of applause. Like, oh, your husband died.
Stand up for that.
Yeah, your husband died. So sorry. That sucks for you.
The reason I'm not is because she doesn't care about it.
Isn't that funny? Like, yeah, that's a different debate for a different day. But isn't that funny? Anytime we were trying to honor people that died due to violence, Democrats weren't standing up at all.
Yeah, they were okay with that, and that's what I'm saying. That's what it seems like.
Was brought on from Trump's administration.
Yeah, sadly, and you're right about that. But the thing is, it still doesn't feel like that. Like it feels like we're missing something. You get what I'm saying? Like there was a point askewed or something just not something else it could have been the trigger, should be the point to moment. And that's the thing. Like it's not just January 6th. It could have been lockdown and people and then January 6th and then. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. It's just it's baffling. It really is. And it's troubling and it's upsetting. And I'm tired of seeing people hurt and destroyed and taken down for nothing. And that's a real common thing nowadays. All of these protests for no reason. You want to protest, fine. But they've had some peaceful protests in Minnesota. And like I said, ICE to me is a terrible but necessary evil because there are people that shouldn't be in the country.
Like if you had more trained
well, that's the thing. They rushed into this, and we know they did. Trump wanted thousands of deportations a day to be handled, or else they view it as a failure. Well, I'm sorry, but people aren't able to keep up with the demand, so he had to hire more people. But you hire more people, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. More people get hurt. More people get hurt. Less people believe ICE is a good thing, and so on. You get the point.
The issue is like me, you, and Zay can go apply to be ICE officers tomorrow.
Right now,
and
we could be hired. Week. Absolutely, we could be hired in an instant and get a very good paying job from it. I mean,
I've always been against ICE.
That's insane.
People say the Democrats are not for deportation, but they got up. That's one of the things that they got up for and clapped for was safe deportation.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we need. We need safe deportation like under Barack Obama.
Yep.
He had very safe deportation. Yes, unfortunately, he did not have the most sanitary or safe. You wouldn't call them prisons, but you would call them
like Guantanamo and stuff like that. Yeah. The refusal to get rid of that. And
unfortunately, they weren't that safe but he already is. Trump's already on a much faster track to have so many more deaths than.
Oh, absolutely. And what I don't like is at least with Barack being there,
he also had
Biden,
more deportations.
Yeah, they had more, but people were getting a chance to see a judge go. Like there were most times
stay in the country if they're good.
Yes,
people.
yes. And if you have families here, your children are here. Well, let's figure this out. What can we do? Okay, you were granted asylum, but then you didn't complete your paperwork, so technically we can deport you, but what can we do to fix this? You know what I mean? But we're not getting that. We're not seeing that.
Right.
We're just getting people being alienated and shut out and left to fend for themselves as they're sent away from their country. I mean, when they used a 5-year-old boy as a fishing lure to tell them, hey, I mean, that was fucked. And there's a lot of situations out there like that right now that don't look good, that don't make sense, that don't add up. And as I said before, you guys nailed it. ICE is not trained. They don't have the manpower to do as they need to right now. And it's because of the numbers. It's because of the lack of training. It's because there's a bunch of issues. It's because of the mistrust and misuse of police force, and people are afraid of police anyway. So there's already this like hesitation to cooperate and like getting in ICE's way. And then Renee, why did they have to block them? Why did they have to get involved? Because what did she accomplish besides getting shot in the head? Should she have been attacked? Should she be shot? No, certainly not. Certainly fucking not.
But don't intervene.
But why are you there? Why are you causing anything? Oh, well, you're protesting. It's your right. I get that. But what are you going to accomplish blocking agents while they're trying to conduct their work?
Once you're detained, you can't flee the scene. That's the issue there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they said, get out of the car. You're getting detained. Get out of the car. She refused and she started to drive away. I'm not saying that deserves a death sentence. I'm saying what was the point in any of that? What did you accomplish by almost running a man over?
Prevented. Like
he got knocked to the ground. He thought he was going to get killed. The guy probably shouldn't have been working. He has PTSD.
She was probably going to get killed anyway if she didn't do it. For all we know, she probably was. That guy, in my opinion, he was out there to kill somebody.
They didn't shoot until she spat on the car.
I truly believe he had a PTSD moment and fucking snapped. I mean, we'll learn more as time goes on, but that is my honest belief.
Saying they're not trained.
Oh, they're definitely not. They're not trained.
Why is there PTSD? Somebody with PTSD out there.
Exactly. He got hit by a car and was fucked up for a long while. He had to go through rehab and recuperation and all this shit. And then he's got a fucking car gunning at him. So he shoots her. It's not right, but you can tell he was genuinely afraid though. I'm not saying he's valid. I'm not saying it's right.
On the pedal and speeding though.
You should have just got out of the fuck. You shouldn't have been in their way to begin with, because you're not accomplishing anything. The protesting and blocking them and fucking with them is only making them have to stay there longer and respond longer.
I think if she stepped out, she would have been fine.
They weren't going to shoot her.
Don't know.
I truly, wholeheartedly believe that it was a moment of fear, because the guy probably, you see a car coming at you, that he shot and reacted. You could see
and no
in every frame, every motion. No, they're in the wrong, absolutely. But that's like me going to Walmart and fucking with every employee. What's the point? Because I don't like Walmart. Okay. I don't like the company, but how does that help the minimum wage workers that are getting, you don't like ICE? Great.
Just
but
go
fucking with these guys is leading to you getting arrested.
All their employees at Walmart because you don't like them. Let me go fuck around with them and push all their buttons. Then once you get struck, you're going to be the victim.
Yeah.
I'd hope a Walmart worker would not shoot me.
Yes, indeed.
Just in a different sense. So maybe they don't. But what if they punch you if you just antagonize them?
What if they take out the broomstick and just fucking boom?
Then we're victims, right?
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Now. What they are doing
let me get to
completely legal.
Let's talk about Alex Preddy.
We agree that what they are doing is completely legal. Protesting and using your First Amendment right.
It is legal. I'm just saying, what are you accomplishing? Like Alex Preddy.
Like when you can protest, not antagonize.
But he goes over to their car. He kicks the light. He breaks the rear tail light. He's fucking with him. He's swearing at him.
It was AI.
It wasn't. It was legitimate. I thought so too. But I deep dove into this one, and so all of that. He has his tantrum freak out. Then they go over and they grab him, and then he's got the gun on his hip. The guy behind him with his gun out doesn't see the officer's arm grabbing the gun. It looks like it's Alex's arm disarmed, like not being disarmed. The guy is disarming Alex, taking the gun away. But when he takes the gun away from the angle the stupid ICE agent was at, it looks like he's pulling the gun himself. So he shoots him.
And then they fucking
dead.
Fired on him like a shooting squad.
Because they thought he had a gun. They didn't know. I'm not saying it's...
Boom.
I mean, the whole shit is a disaster because then you're just going off of instinct. They're not trained right, most of them. So one shoots, everybody's going to shoot. And that's what they fucking teach you. Empty your mag till the threat is gone.
ICE agent, crossfires, and...
Oh, they've had that happen where they've not killed each other, but they have injured each other.
I think he was trying to help that lady, but but they didn't, because again, an instance where he was acting like a wild man before, a madman on the loose before that ended up taking place. And
I mean,
one thing led to another.
Yeah, look at this story today in Columbus, Ohio. A mom, she wants these agents investigated because she was she's not naming herself because she's afraid of retaliation, but they were shopping December 21st, and then you could see in the video the 18-year-old is heard calling out in Spanish to another vehicle, warning that ICE was nearby, right? Oh, she's just, a kid being, hey, ICE is nearby. ICE then hears this, follows them, and they drive up alongside the mother's driver's side window while she's driving and pepper spray the vehicle as they pass.
Yeah.
So after spraying the inside of the mom's car, video showed the agents flipped on their lights and drove away. The mom said she drove behind them for about half a mile, but the agents began weaving in and out of traffic, so she stopped because she was trying to follow them, but they pepper sprayed her kids and her in the goddamn car while she was driving.
Yeah, they're not going.
No, of course not. The agents will be afraid or wait. But ICE is just another... Right today, vehicle pursued by ICE crashes into St. Paul. Large crowd gathers, many hurt. ICE agents ignore safety and end up shooting wrong person. Anti-ICE rioters came prepared with frozen water bottles and badly hurt officers. Like, what are we doing? Even the Wallingford mayor issues statement after reports of ICE agents. My fucking hometown, doxing myself here. Federal agents were spotted right here in Wallingford, and it prompted residents to contact the mayor's office. Guess what? ICE is here. They're in our town. So what are they going to do? They're going to take away the sweet lady from the package store that I love to talk to? Or are they going to go after the guy that owns all the Dunkin' Donuts?
Yep. Now they're going door to door.
So now the mayor had sent out a public blast that said, please, we encourage all Wallingford residents to not interfere with law enforcement of any kind for your own safety. Because he knows. He's not stupid. He knows if you go and fuck with these people, and even if it's your First Amendment right and you're peaceful, guess what? What if they're snapped and they do want to shoot you or pepper spray you or hurt you or whatever? You are only endangering yourself. If you want to protest, then go to a meeting area in the same town that's away from ICE and do it like people do. Getting in front of them leads to these type of things because they're not trained and they're handling it badly. Both sides are in the wrong and neither side will give up an inch. And that's the problem here. Republican, Democrat, human, white,
they
black.
Don't want any middle ground.
It's just... And we're all people at the end of the day. I know it's so stupid, but everybody's got hearts and eyes and fucking, lungs and kidneys. We are all the same. But they literally show training for new ICE agents is deficient and broken. They literally show you how they train them. He said, I watched ICE dismantle the training program, cutting 240 mandatory hours of vital classes from a 584-hour program. Right? So they cut all of those classes out, classes that teach Constitution, legal system, firearms training, use of force, lawful arrest, proper detention, and the limits of officers' authority are no longer taught. New cadets are graduating from the academy despite widespread concerns among other training staff that even in the final days of training, the cadets cannot demonstrate a solid grasp of tactics or the law required to perform their jobs. And they still pass them and hire them. They let them through in 4 days. They let them out of that practice in 4 days, and they're an ICE agent.
Guys, we could go shoot in weeks and just get away. And then you know what we could do, guys? You know what we could do? We could get a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Why not?
Right? We'll throw that in too.
Let's, before, I know we got to catch up on some sports here. So let me leeway into this. What do you guys think of cancel culture? Like real quick at summarization.
Because if you think that you are doing something bad enough that you're going to be canceled by an audience if it was posted, that's a good thing to have in your mind. Because
I think people are too sensitive, though. They cancel people over everything.
Yeah, I think it went too extreme. The idea behind it is good. Like, hey, you got to be responsible for your own actions. You're going to be held accountable.
You can't go fuck a dog and not get canceled.
Yes, but see,
Adesanya.
There's a difference between being held accountable for your actions and being canceled, because even people that aren't guilty at times have been canceled wrongly, and just like people have been wrongly convicted. Yes, I know, but in the cancellation sphere, you see these gigantic reactions. Sensitive. Yeah, to very minor things. They have these gigantic emotional reactions. So
I've learned about it in fan bases and stuff with wrestling, right? Like you can't say anything without it being a problem, and they all try to attack you and make you look bad. You're like, Jake, you get it how it is. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Like, I think everyone needs to touch grass, grow up hair, and stop whining, bitching, moaning about everything, and do your own life how you want to do it, and stop trying to make sure everyone else is correct and has themselves checked straight, because nobody does.
No, exactly.
Nobody does.
And
that's.
I love that we can have this conversation. I love that we can even discuss these things. Like you said, the cancellation for the Redskins name. It was always ridiculous. When you had Native American tribes come out and say, no, we don't mind, we don't find it offensive. Like, again, it was, I'm going to be offended on your behalf. And that to me is the most racist or offensive or bigoted, whatever label you want. That's the worst you could be, because you're basically going up to somebody and say, you're too stupid to be offended. Let me be upset for you.
Yep. Then you come to find out Native Americans are pushing to get it back and suing for the name being removed in the first place.
Yeah. So now they're upset that it's gone because they felt like they had history and lineage and like roots there. They lost their country. Now they lost their name was basically the tagline. And for what reason? You know, we've seen teams' names had to change and mascots. I could understand if they were calling themselves like the national, or something terrible like that. Yeah. You know, the bigoted bitches, the killer kite, one of them, whatever. You know, we could get some great names.
Notice who it is. Again, this distracts. It's always the left that does that.
Oh, always.
You're too dumb.
Please welcome the fantastic gets. Like, come on, it could be great. That to me is like, if something's okay, everything's okay. I never quite bid onto that. I understand the idea behind it. Like, oh, you can't police one joke because then no jokes are, but you can. There's a time and a place is the point that I feel. Nothing is off limits. It's just situational based. Yeah, you need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to know that, hey, people are going to not appreciate this. If I'm doing stand-up at a comedy club and there's all women in the audience doing my favorite joke, women's rights, it's not going to kill. Okay. Right? If I say my dishwasher broke and I got to smack her in the ass to make it work faster, they're not going to laugh. But if I go ahead and be like, my husband's the worst. He can't even find his glasses when he's wearing them. And they're like, because it's relatable. It's knowing your audience. It's the situation. It's timing. Nothing is truly ever off limits. It's just about where and when you can say it.
Damn right.
Fucking A right. Now, let me know about spring training. What the hell's going on? Clue me in here, because I'm behind on the times of MLB baseball.
You want to lead us on? You said you got the...
All right. So we're going to give select grades on how they performed in the offseason. Let's start with the New York.
Okay.
All right. That's a good one. Okay. I think the Mets, grade-wise, I think I'm going to give them a B+, because they did shake up their core. They got rid of Alonso, Nimmo, Jeff McNeil. Nimmo and Jeff McNeil, you could say, started to decline. That is fair. But they did add additions like Bo Bichette, Freddie Peralta. They have Marcus Semien now, who's a great locker room leader, and you need that positive vibes in the clubhouse to string things along. And they added quite a decent amount of bullpen arms. You got Devin Williams for one. So with that being said, I would give them a B+.
Fair.
All right. I'm gonna have to give them an A-, B+. They probably had a top.
I think they could have used one more hitter.
I would go with a B. I'm going to give them a B. For badass.
If you think about so let's do this. All right, let's do the math. Let's start at a C plus. You're adding Bichette, Freddie Peralta, Louis Robert, Mark
And Freddie
Stimoni.
Peralta is arguably a number one starter.
Did you guys pick up Craig Kimbrell, right? The reliever.
Yeah,
you
I
did.
believe so. He'll be pretty good reliever. Jorge Polano, but you guys lost Pete Alonso. Edwin Diaz is on the decline. Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil. That's a bad. I don't like that loss for the Mets. I like Jeff McNeil a lot. And then Jet Williams. He was a good prospect. But if you add and subtract, for me, you're at an A minus.
Sounds fair.
A minus. He gave a better grade, so people that want to type in the comments, oh, Cody's biased towards his own team, man. Yeah.
Not this time.
They gave a better grade than I did.
Look at that.
What do you want to do next? Let's go Cubs. Yeah. I think I'm going to give them a A because they got Bregman. That's a big addition to their team because he's a great fielder and he has a good bat on him.
Yes.
All right, so the Cubs, you lose Kyle Tucker. Who cares? You guys already have left field figured out, center field figured out, and Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ, PCA. So who cares that you lose Kyle Tucker? Yes, you lose Drew Pomeranz and lose Brad Keller. Those were very good relief pitchers.
Yeah.
But you pick up guys like Alex Bregman, you trade for Edward Cabrera, but you do have to give up Owen Cassie for that. You definitely don't like to do that. But Edward should be pretty good. You're able to keep Shota Imanyanga for another year. You get Phil Maton, Caleb Thieber, Shelby Milner, Hobie Miller, and Jacob Webb. So you have a lot of additions to a team. So I have to give them A flat.
So you're in agreement with me.
I'm going A minus. So
A minus. Jake says A minus. He's still trying to steal my show, I think, but I'm working on the legal rights to take it back. We'll
see what you can copyright.
Court. I like how we just easily went from this big debate on politics and just right into a relaxing conversation about sports.
That's how it works.
Hilarious.
That's the crossover potential, baby.
Let's do for 2 more teams, I think. Let's do the most competitive who we think will be from each of our division. So you want to start with the Central first, maybe the Brewers, and I'll do Phillies.
Actually,
Braves.
I was going to say, the Atlanta Braves is one I want to see what you guys rank.
Yeah, that's
definitely. And what about the Yankees as well? Because you've got quite a few Yankees fans.
I'm gonna have to give the Yankees a D plus. They didn't do anything. They literally lost more players than they legit did not do a single thing.
I would go with C minus.
I don't think they. I think I'm going to give them a C minus as well because they didn't really do anything. They just.
I gave them a D plus.
I think they just they resigned Cody Bellinger, so they just remain the same.
Pretty much.
So you want to do Braves or Brewers first? Will have that be our final 2 here?
Let's do
Braves. So they didn't add much either, but they're still an elite team. They got Ronald Acuna Jr., who should be healthy. They have Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies, Michael Harris, second. They got a lot of big pluses in their rotation as well. You got Chris Sale, who was a Cy Young a few years ago. You got Spencer Strider, who could have a bounce back because he always has that potential there.
Yeah.
People are thinking he's washed, but I think Braves are better than the Phillies. I think they had a bad year last year because of all the injuries, but I need to see them show out this year.
They lost drunk driver I'm Marcelo Zuna. They also lost Alex Manoah.
Yeah,
True.
So it's a lot to take away from. So I'm gonna go with a C even.
I'm gonna go C plus there.
I'm going C plus.
Ooh. In a good range.
Final one, Brewers. We'll do one from your division just to cap it off.
All right.
I think Brewers, in my opinion, are a B minus because they lost Freddie Peralta, but they did gain 2 top prospects that could be a potential core in their future. And Brewers have a good farm system where they don't need to really go heavy on free agents in off season. So I think B minus is fair for them.
Absolutely.
I'm disappointed in the Brewers. The reason I say this is why do they not build on superstars? Why do they not build on their franchise players? They didn't use Freddie Peralta. Cody Yelich got hurt and he never came back the same. They didn't trade him. They don't keep their superstars. Why do they trade their superstars for Jet Williams, who we don't even know if he'll Brandon Sprout? He came in that trade, right? I believe so.
I believe so.
And then they get Akil Baddoo, so they're gonna win 162 games because Akil Baddoo is that guy. Not actually, but Kyle Harrison, I love that pickup. But
yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna have to give them a C- just because they didn't do that much and they lost their best player.
I'm gonna go with a D+ on this one, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
But see, that's fair because losing your top pitcher is
that's devastating.
A big deal.
Yeah, trying to recover from that while still trying to, develop anything is, as you know, a lot to work through, a lot to change.
Think they have a down year.
Yeah. Because everybody's got to get used to the new. So it does take some time to really get through that. I think people forget that too.
The Red Sox had a very polar.
You think so?
They lost their two best players. Bregman.
Yeah,
but they got Wilson Contreras, Sonny Gray.
They got Ranger Suarez. They got Sonny Gray. So I think they're actually a B+.
Just B.
Just a B.
You can't lose. You can't lose Bregman and Devers and not lower than.
I'm gonna go B-.
But
just
B-. Okay, so we're all in the B category here.
Yes.
The best
offseason.
Orioles is up there.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to go
Orioles is definitely probably the contender because they got Pete Alonso. Yeah, that's a big plus. I hate that, but they got him.
And they lost no one. Like literally, they lost no one.
They just gained
Shane Baz,
so, if anything,
Ward, Zach Eflin. Did they get Ryan? I think they. But they got
Ryan Helsley.
Yeah,
they
it says here.
A crap ton of players. They're going to be very good.
In the next episode, we will go more into depth about everyone and just our hopes for the 2026 season and like
what you didn't get to this time.
And floors. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
Well, thank you guys so much for. Yeah, you could do the outro, but I'm just saying thank you guys so much.
No, you do the outro.
All right. I'll go ahead and you got it. So thank you so much for letting me join the podcast. I've had a ton of fun being on Into Somewhere Sports, mixing it up with the UCR podcast. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you to Zay, as always, being a great co-host to the one, the only Cody Oneidi 316. Cody.
Yes, sir.
Tell these amazing people where they could find you.
Indeed, you can find me over on my Twitter or X, whatever you like to call it nowadays, at Judgment Day Era. You can find me over on my YouTube also at Judgment Day Era. Gaming content coming soon once we fix that damn outlet. And you can find me over on my Instagram at Cody_Oneidi_3. And soon to be all my social media handles once the rebrand is official.
Yeah.
And we got something funny to bring up about people making fun of me of being Liv Morgan's simp. We got something funny for the live stream.
Don't miss.
Check it out. That was yesterday.
Yeah, and game night tonight. Be sure to check that out live. We'll be live for the SmackDown review and Elimination Chamber review this weekend, so don't miss it. As always, make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, turn on notifications, and you can follow me at Countdown Ended on Twitter for show news and updates. Thank you so much, and again, I hope you all stay sexy.